out our explant. Okay, there's a couple ways to do this. First of all, you don't want to use the tip of the leaf or the section farthest away from the petiole. These cells down here are older. They grew first and they're older and they're harder to get started. So we're going to concentrate on this half of the leaf. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. So we'll just hold this down and we'll just make a cut. And we'll get rid of this section. We won't use this section here. And I'm going to leave this stem on so it gives me something to hold on to. So what you want to do is just cut a little strip, and you can cut it about this thick here. Now, there's several different ways to cut this too. You can use a paper punch and just punch out little circles of this leaf, or we can just use a scalpel or an X-Acto blade. Now if you look at the underside of the leaf, you're going to see some veins here. You'll see one here. Hopefully you can see this on the camera. You can see here, and here's the main vein. When you cut your explants, you want to make sure that you have at least one vein in there. So we'll go ahead and trim this up. It's kind of buckling up here. See if I can straighten this towel out. There we go. I'm going to bring this over here so you can see it. And you can see there's a vein there. And there's one here on the edge. So I'm just going to chop this little half off, or that little section. I'm going to chop this little section. This section here will have the main vein, so I'm going to chop this off. And there's a vein running right through here, so I'm going to intersect it. I'm going to cut it at an angle. And actually there's two on there. And I would use these for our little explants. We'll turn this over. You notice on the African violet leaf, the lighter side is called the abaxal side, or the underneath side. And you want to lay it down into your jar with the top side of the leaf facing up. Now there's stomata on both sides of these leaves on an African violet, but you just want to lay this on your media in your jar with the top facing up. Okay, so we could use those for explants. Now I'm going to cut it a little differently, and sometimes I do it this way. Now I have a pair of scissors here. Let me just grab them and dip them into some water. And another way to do this is, it's a real quick way, is go ahead and use a pair of scissors. And I just snip the same width of a plant off here. If I can just get that little corner. And we'll just do another one here. And I'll just set that off to the side. Now I could just use the scissors. In fact, I think I will. I just use the scissors to go ahead and cut my explants this way. So I can just use the scissors and let them drop on the paper towel if I'm not missing it. And I'll get a vein there, and I'll get a vein there. And you can quickly cut up your plants just using a pair of scissors, and those scissors should be sharp, clean, and disinfected. So now we have a bunch of little explants to use. And we'll go ahead and place one of these in a jar of media. So I'm going to reach over here and grab my jar. I'm going to set the lid here, and we're going to let's grab this little guy here. There's a little vein on here. Let me make sure there is. Yeah, he looks like a good one. So I'm just going to lay him in there. Now, depending on how hard your gel is in here, you don't want to smush him down. If it's a real soft gel, this is okay. I can swirl it around here. This is actually a little on the soft side. If I smush him down, it's going to drown him. So I just want to lay him on the surface like this, and that's good. That's all you have to do. Now if it's a little harder gel, you want to make sure it's in contact with it. So let me grab the lid here. Now there's a little drip of water in here, and you'll have that when you make your media. You'll have this little drip of water. What you want to do is tilt your jar, and you want to drop this water out. That water will affect the plant here. It will drown it. It'll cover up the stomata and drown it. So there you have it. There's your African violet cutting. And you can see that we have several explants that we can use for African violets. Now this can be done in one of the open air containers. You don't need a glove box. And as long as you get some sterilized paper towel to work on, that would work. So there you go, there's an African violet. So Let me show you what it looks like in about 8 weeks of plant tissue culture here, and are sitting in a jar. So we'll take a look at that.